Soma Fuad. I'm with you from Kurdistan and welcome to Not Be Forgotten podcast. Today we will talk about how Mr. Said Ahmad Muhammad, a Peshmerga, used his camera to document the war and his challenges.
تشتيني يعني هاتيتنا بشورشة كاميرا فيديو جرى إكيد هردو شورشة إيلوني وقولاني بشمردي كاميرا فيديو بكارنتينا كاميرا فوتوغرافيها بون شخصي بون بيتر زارو نحصاد وهشتي وبينجي كاميرا بمش مكتب سياسي هات بلقائك كاميرا كجالك يعني شب أوبسيون تدانا بون يعني زوم دستي بو هر تشتك دستي بو وإيك باتري تسر بو باتري هكو شحم بو 20 دقيقة تصوير كر نزلت.
He is also known as Said Bamerne. He was born on September 10, 1955 and joined the Peshmerga in 1983 from the Sheikh Zorab organization, part of the PDK Peshmerga. He talked about back then and how cameras were a big change. He mentioned that during the revolutions, people mostly used their own cameras, not professional ones. In 1985, Said got a basic handheld camera from the political bureau. It had a battery that only lasted 20 minutes, and with limited electricity in the countryside, charging it was rough. Said had no experience with cameras before. He grew up in the city and knew about cinema and TV, but had never filmed anything. A friend of him encouraged Said to start filming the war. What was the experience of the young Peshmergas? Most of the Peshmergas, nearly 80%, were the same age as Said. They hadn't seen war, but because of the oppression and the warplanes bombing the villages, kids, and families, they were forced to fight. He said, "When you go to war, you learn new things." At first, when they heard the gunshots, they were scared, but day after day, year after year, they got used to it. They had older Peshmergas with them, who weren't scared of anything. So slowly their fears faded even when they were being shot at. How did alliances and operations evolve? Their area was mostly PDK Peshmerga. In 1987, when the Kurdistan Front Wujud was created, the PUK came to the area. Before them, they were with the Communist Party, the Iraqi Communist Party. They were also Peshmerga. They did a lot of operations together, but the PDK was the stronger in the area. During the war, he forgot about his brother and cousins. He said, "Whoever was with you in the war became your brother." Even though they came from different areas and had never met before, it wasn't possible for his friends to be injured or become a martyr and for him to leave him behind. That went for the rest of them as well, because there were no personal benefits behind their intentions of being Peshmerga. They all had the same goal. What was Mullah Mustafa Barzani's legacy? One of Mullah Mustafa Barzani's saying, God rest his soul, was, "We have no friends but the mountains." Since they had no allies, Iran was their enemy, Iraq was their enemy, and the Arabs as well, not as people, but as governments. Since the Aylul Revolution, until now, because of the oppression of the Kurds and also some Arabs, they couldn't take it. So they went to the mountains. But now the situation is different. They have allies. Still, they had this saying among the Kurds when someone left and they said they went to the mountain, it meant they joined the revolution. The mountain was the revolution. The revolution was called the mountain. It was a place of resistance and revolutionaries. Are we still in the revolution? Said believed that they're still in the revolution, that the Kurd situation has never been like this. It has become better, but they still have a long way to go. Until they become an independent country, they would be in a revolution. Whether it's a political or a military revolution, the Golan Revolution hasn't ended yet. It was a military breakthrough. The enemy was stronger due to their resources and the fact that they were an oil-rich country. 3 countries were helping one another against the Kurdish cause. And unfortunately, Kurds were a bit of each other's enemy too. That also had a big impact, both internal and external. The defeat was caused by internal conflict. What was life like in the Mardin camp? He went to the Mardin camp where he got married. There, they had a shortage of weapons. They were in a camp that was a few kilometers square. As brave as someone is, without a weapon, you can't protect yourself. And you're in a jail where your life is in danger at any second. But the operation that had a camera involved encouraged the fighters, with the thought that the video would get archived. Even though they didn't know if they would ever see it, it was still effective. It had a big impact, encouraging the Peshmerga, especially Dr. Roj, supported them, with the cameras a lot. God rest his soul. They valued him. He was a very educated person. All of their leaders were supportive, but for him, Dr. Roj was the number one support. Why is war documentation important? He said that even until the ISIS war, every Peshmerga station had to have a camera. Now, we can see the World War I and II because of hundreds of cameramen lost their lives in those wars. War cameramen were considered to hold a more sacred role than those with weapons, because if it wasn't for them filming, we couldn't see what happened during the wars. He also said documentaries are different from bringing an actor and make a movie. Even if you bring an actor to make a film during the revolution, it won't be even 1% as valuable as the documentary itself. Nowadays, when he looks at their documentaries, he thinks if it wasn't for him and his friends, they wouldn't recognize each other. They've changed and got older. Even if they spend millions of dollars, a movie won't be as valuable as the documentary.
امریکای حرب عالمی و یکی و دویت بینیم صدا kameraman hatnakoştum. Nasıl? O karvan pürüstür bu şvicin diye tvengi tabii. Çünkü ki ev nedir bunu keman edit أنا أظن. دو دوكومانت فرقش تو أكتر كيبيني بتفيلم ماجي شيء. عندي تأكتر بينو تلسر شو راح شيء كان يعني إكس صديجي قيمته بيننا أو دوكومانت تاعي أبي جلكي أبي وقتي يعني كأكو أسحت ما وان دوكومانتات ما هيك أسناب من هوار الجلمن أمي كودنون ياسين كم هات نجوهرين نزاخم بونو بدلك هاتينو فرق بالمانا بس كنتوي وقت تبيني شو كانت بناها تعبيز كذا يعني مليارات الدولار أنا هتشيء خلاص.
After Said got his firstborn, all of their names changed to Kurdish names. They stopped giving Arabic names. Arabs can't recognize our names because it's all Kurdish, he said. So he called his firstborn Armanj, which means goal, because they had a goal. Omid is his second son's name, which means hope. Azza is his third son's name, which means freedom. They became free at that time, and that's why he named him that. All three of them have Kurdish names. Kurdish names are also nicer, he said. Grandfathers all have names like Ahmad, Muhammad, and Abdullah, which are Arabic names. He also said that Kurdish names are way nicer than Arabic. Thank you for staying with me to hear about the Said Ahmad story. Stay with us for the next episode about more stories of the lives of noble Peshmergas. Tell us what you think and leave us your feedback. Have a wonderful day.